Alright, here we are with this kit from GHQ, this material handler I mentioned in my other video. I'm just going to throw it together, trying some different products here. This chipping medium, I've seen a lot about these, and I've been wanting to try it, so I figured it would look cool, maybe chipping up some of the pieces on here and see how that looks. I really like these kits. You see them online, or basically everywhere. I've seen them in hobby stores. They're really cheap and really nice quality stuff, which I think I showed before, but this is that Bobcat that I built. And although I found these decals from a separate company, which they look pretty cool on here, I couldn't find any decals for this one. I believe it's a Great All model, from what I could tell. So, I mean, I guess I could go out and get decals made, but it's not really that important. So, I'm thinking maybe just make it look really old, rusted up. Well, not so much rusted, but all chipped up and worn. So, I get away with not having decals on it, just maybe they've worn off through time. So, I've got a few extra little detail parts I'm probably going to maybe try to incorporate. Maybe some hydraulic hoses and maybe a couple lights or something like that, and see how it turns out. I've already started putting it together, kind of dry fitting it here. Not many pieces from what you can see here. There's different options. You could make it with the boom all the way in, or have the boom kind of extended out, which I'm going to make mine kind of in, just so maybe I could put it on a trailer or something. It also comes with a figure if you ever want to put this guy in there. But I'm leaning towards maybe leaving it empty for now. So yeah, just glued a couple pieces on. I've got this liquid mask drying. I don't want to get any paint on the inside of the wheels where it mounts to the axle. So I put some on here. It's kind of hard to see, but just so I get a good clean bond with the glue. So I'll have that on there, and I use this. I've been seeing a lot of guys, a lot of the European modelers use this stuff, and they always talk pretty highly of it, so I wanted to give it a try, and I just haven't found it until recently. I was in a store, hobby shop up in where was I? Up in Vancouver, and I found this on the shelf, so I wanted to give it a try, and I really like it. It comes out really well. It dries pretty quick, and you could easily just peel the whole thing off, kind of like a glue, once you're done painting. So yeah, definitely recommend it. If you ever see these on the shelves, grab it. So alright, I'm gonna get paint here. I'm gonna prime everything with this fine surface primer from Tamiya. Let that dry, give it a layer of rust per the instructions here, maybe a mix between the two. I don't want to go too light, but maybe a dark, dirty rust underneath. Spray the chipping medium over that, let that dry, and then Great Alls, or most of them I've seen are blue, so I'll probably mix this, make it a little darker, a darker blue, and go from there. So I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Alright, little update. I've got the loader itself, or the forklift, painted. I was primed. I've got it painted in this kind of rust color. I know it looks kind of weird for now, but that's going to be what's showing through the chip spots of some rust. So it's all going to be blue. Same color as these wheels, which I finally figured out how to make, or how to paint wheels that actually look somewhat decent. So what I do is I just paint the whole thing with it's a great color, by the way, this Tamiya rubber black. It comes out really nice. It's a very convincing rubber look, but to paint the inside of a rim, I've always struggled with that, trying to find the perfect way to do it, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just late to the party here, but get one of these. Michael's, like $3, and what I do is I just protect the bottom with some tape so that it doesn't scratch off the black rubber, and I'll just hold it right underneath and give it a little spray with the airbrush, and it looks pretty good. So I'm pretty happy about that. So next step is going to be, this has had plenty of time to dry, so I'm going to hit it with the chipping medium, diluted with some thinner, which I saw about 50-50, this and thinner. Let that sit for 30 minutes, hit it with the blue, let that sit for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then start chipping off whatever I want to chip. So I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to do some scratches here on the forklift part that probably gets a lot of action. I tested it out with a little palette here, and it's the right size. Well, it was the right size. Let's see if it fits. There we go. So that'll slide on like that. And then, yeah, I'll let it sit. Clear that after it's all chipped up and had time to dry, and continue on with the weathering and detailing. So let's get to it. Alright, here's the model painted in the blue after the chipping solution or medium has been applied. I did, however, come back and darken up the rust color a little bit, which hopefully will show through when I start chipping it up here. So as per the instructions, I have some water. I'm going to use a toothpick and like a old brush that has pretty stiff bristles, and let's see if it comes off or not. So here we go. We'll start with this with the forks here, just because I don't know, they're gonna get messed up anyway. So oh, there we go. Not so wet. And it's starting to peel off. See if I can zoom in a bit. So that's pretty cool. I would imagine these get, probably all the paint comes off them anyway. I know they'd probably be, you know, raw metal and steel or whatever they are underneath the paint, but this model I'm going to have kind of just sitting kind of rusted up anyway, so I kind of wanted them to look rusty. So I guess I'm going to get busy chipping away a little bit, and I'll get the camera back on after some progress is made. But so far so good. Alright, so here we are after some morning Dunkin' Donuts. I'm continuing to work on this forklift thing. I've done the rest of the scratching, and I'm going to let it all dry overnight. It works pretty good. I like the way it, you know, it's very controllable using a toothpick or a brush on larger pieces to scratch off the blue paint and reveal the really whatever color you want underneath. So I think I'm at the point now. I've just painted a few detail parts. I'm going to go ahead and put the wheels on and probably do a coat of some black wash on it. It helps kind of blend all the colors together. I've also got some detail parts I'm going to try to incorporate just because I have them laying around. Trying to maybe put like a couple lights on it. Got these MV lenses again I mentioned before. I have a lot of these. I like to have a stock of them because opportunity like this, you know, you could use them. So maybe I'll put one on the front, one on the back. I'm just trying to figure out a way to do it. Kind of make a housing for the lens. I've got it on here, this toothpick. So I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. Maybe just paint the back of it black, and then so it looks like the housing for the light. I tried making a piece of styrene for the back. This little piece, it's just too small to shape and to cut. So I don't know. It is what it is. We'll see what I could do. I've got leftover. This is from Custom Finishing's. Their kits. I built that snowplow on that Blazer, and their kits are great. They come with these. I don't even know what this is. It's like a plastic line. It's so fine. Probably can't even really see it. But it looks great for hydraulic lines. So maybe I'll add some hydraulic lines to it. Plano Parts. These, again, I have a ton of these as well. These are just mirrors for a Ford pickup truck, which I'm just going to really take the mirror itself and maybe put a mirror on the side or in the front, which I've kind of seen on some photos. So I don't know, throw that on there. And got some of this chain laying around from A-line. So maybe kind of wrap the chain around there, make it all rusty. And that should be it. So I'll get working, and I'll turn the camera back on once I've made some progress. So things have gotten a little out of control. This is what happens when I have nothing to do and I just sit around. So I figured, I was looking at some prototype photos and saw exhaust and an intake. So naturally I took some styrene. I'll show you guys here. Just some styrene rod that I had laying around, and kind of made a little, just bent it up with my fingers. Really, it's so thin that the heat from your fingers can just bend it. So this exhaust will go, let's see if I could, somewhere in here like that, along the frame, and I'll paint it up with some, I'll show you guys. I have this paint laying around. This, let's see, it's like a, this is great for model airplane stuff. I use kind of like a burnt metal towards the end where it gets hot on the exhaust, and probably some stainless steel or some aluminum. I'll paint the rest of that. For the intake, this is pretty cool. I took, again, some styrene. Let's see if I could get it to focus. There you go. So a little intake air cleaner box there, and the piping with the little dome intake on that too, and that'll go down along the side of the cab here, down right there. I just can't get it in there right now, but so yeah, that's, I'll paint those up right now. So here it is, the wheels are on it. I added some hydraulic lines, which are kind of hard to see, but they're in there for the extension boom underneath, and for the two hydraulic rams in the back for steering. So that's pretty cool. It's getting a little out of control, but whatever. I have these parts laying around and try to make this metal model into something pretty cool. So it just shows, you know, keep your spare parts, and I always have a pretty large stock of styrene for reasons like this, or instances like this. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and probably paint these up, do the final weathering on it, and come back to you guys with the finished model. Alright guys, here's the finished model. I've gone ahead and weathered it and added the details, and painted up the few extra parts that I had on there. I was showing you guys earlier, the exhaust and the intake manifold, or the air cleaner box here, which came out pretty good. I just painted it that rubber black. The exhaust, which looks great. I've used that alkali paint that I had shown you before, that darker color here with some aircraft aluminum, exhaust color there. and that looks pretty good. I was able to add these lights, these MV lenses, which I just painted the back of them black and put one on the front and one on the back. So those are there. A little beacon from River Point Station. They come clear. I just paint them with Tamiya clear orange, clear amber paint. A little mirror that I mentioned earlier. Let's see, a little chain. The hydraulic lines, which I showed you guys earlier. And that's about it. So, yeah, these kits, again, they're really cheap. They're great. I mean, they're easy to build. There's only a handful of parts. The painting went well. Like, to me, a primer works great with these metal kits. And yeah, just a few extra little details. It really does turn this into a nice model, especially for HO scale. Do some, you know, look at photos online. A lot of these models are, you know, obviously built off of prototypical or, you know, real machines. So I found a lot of pictures online. Although the blue, this is a way darker blue than the prototype or the original Great All Blue, which I've been seeing. But I have seen some darker ones, so that's okay. This one, I'll just have it. I don't know, maybe they repainted it years ago, and it's just darker blue. No big deal. I'm going to build another one, I think. I'm going to buy another kit and paint it in a different color. I saw some with orange and tan, something like that. But they come out really nice. I'm really happy with the way this this model came out. So let me know what you guys think. Again, I'll be gone for a few weeks on my trip. Then I got a wedding when I get home, so it won't be too much going on modeling wise. That's why I got a lot in the past few days. But I'm sure more things will roll in the mail, pre-orders, and those trailers which I have coming from Shapeways, which I'm excited to get those built. That'll be my next build coming up shortly. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time.